Let's take you to the Eastern Cape now, where more drama is set to unfold in the Abathembu Kingdom in the province. In the latest incident, an Imbizo attended by the royal houses of the Abathembu resolved to remove Buyelekhaya Dalinyebo as king and replace him with his son Azenathi. The Imbizo was held at the Bumbane Great Place, but King Buyelekhaya rejects this decision, calling it illegitimate. For more now on the story, let us cross live to our SABC News reporter Atule Joka at the Bumbane Great Place. Atule, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, for someone who didn't see your conversation with Desiree Chauke a little earlier on, let's just recap on what the family member had to say regarding that particular meeting that had taken a decision to remove King Dalinyebo as king. I mean, we have him saying that the meeting was illegitimate.
Yes, well, greetings, Palisa. As you would know, what started this whole thing was an Imbizo which was held there at Bumbane Great Place. Where we are at now, it is in Kulekweni, which is the residence of King Buyelekhaya Dalinyebo. That Imbizo was said to be attended by quite a number of households, quite a number of kingdoms from the Abathembu, which they say they have resolved to dethrone and remove the king from his rightful heir. This is what started this whole commotion. We followed up the story. Yesterday we spoke to the both camps with the other camp, which is in opposition to the king, saying, of course, they've decided to replace the king with his son, the acting king, King Azenathi Dalinyebo. They were saying some of the reasons for that was because of the conduct of the king. As you would know, that the king was released last year when his sentence was on remission of his sentence by the president. Of course, then an incident occurred when allegedly the king did go to the royal palace and said to have attacked his acting son. So they were saying that they were removing the king based on those conditions, and also on the fact that because of the parole conditions that limit him, he cannot proceed or based on those bases. But we are joined by the spokesperson of King Buyelekhaya Dalinyebo, Prince Mthunzingonyama, who will unpack the matter to us as to what happened, because they are opposing the decision by the royal kingdom, saying, of course, it is illegitimate. Prince, if you can elaborate to us on this whole debacle which is happening, what is really happening in this Abathembu kingdom?
Allow me to greet my king first. These things are very strange and very embarrassing. Really, people that can stop at nothing to have power in their position. You were there in a number of cases. There were the people that were leading, they were claiming to be leading the release of the king through a positional pardon. We're going to beg the president to release the king, and so on. The king, even last year, somewhere October, sent a delegation to Azenathi, asking him peacefully to make a space for him, because he never wanted to have any form of confrontation. And he he was willing to act, then he changed his mind. And then it continued at this persuasion, and the king from prison, he came here, and allowing Azenathi, he was said to be moving out, and we thought within 14 days we'll be out. That never happened. Now the king on the 13th of March went there to his house. Now here they claim to be victims, and now they claim the king's behavior and so on. Yet they are the one that blocking him to have peace, to go into his premises to perform his ritual. That is the king's place. Has got a title deed for that property. They don't have. Now they are using some silly court orders or protection orders preventing the king, which in our mind, king has applied his on the 29th of May, which was granted, effectively cancelling the effect of the one that they have, because you cannot have two acting at the same time. So, and it was strange that you granted order that takes the owner of the property out and leaves someone who's not. If he claims to be the son to the king, then he would have stayed with the mother if he found that he cannot be under the same roof with his father. So you could see their whole intention was to claim their position of power, because they think the king, by being there, effectively, him being in power, it's fully restored. By him being there, is restored. These are the people they say they want him to be there. Now he's back. Now there's a change of things. Now there's this thing of the king's behavior and so on. And they claim they have dethroned the king. There's a process that you need to go through to get to there. There must be the reason. There must be the case that is debated. If you have to follow our customary processes, you have to go through that. There are two heads that makes up the royal family of Abathembu. The Great House is Dalinyebo Great House, which is headed by King Bumbane, and the right-hand house is that one of Matanzima. They had met on the 27th. They reaffirmed the king's position. They are so junior to those people. Now, these are the people that do stop at nothing, attacking even King's assistant. Babal was attacked by them. Skanek admitted. I saw that on the News 24. And we heard that they also organized a group today that was willing to attack us when we go there. What stopped us from getting there today was that, as we said yesterday, we're going there. We informed the police and we informed the provincial commissioner and the national commissioner of intention, and they understood where we come from with these court orders. And they begged us, no, we should wait and give them time to handle this thing, because it can't be right that people were there. This is not a eviction order. This is the protection order. This is one of the domestic violence cases which are classified under COVID-19 that it needs to be attended swiftly. So we don't know why that is not happening. Instead, those police who were willing to there, as soon they were there, to prevent the king and to protect the people that are not supposed to be there, including the meeting that they had. Some of them, they are not just staying there, but they were allowed them in, having the protection order that was taking them out or preventing them to get in there. So you find that somehow there are some resources, state machinery has been used by all means to give power to Azenathi to continue frustrating the king, to continue provoking him, calling him. Imagine calling the head of the family to a meeting that must be held outside of his gate. How embarrassing that is in the first place. So that's the situation. There are clear forces behind the scenes here, but they're also greedy enough for the power. They cannot just allow a peaceful process to take place for the king to get back there and perform his rituals and perform his duties.
And also, speaking of the certificate of recognition, I'm sure the king is still recognized as the rightful heir. They are saying they have withdrawn that statement, and we're speaking to government. They are saying they're waiting for the kingdom to give them the name, which is at this point the name that they do have is that of the king. So it's only the king who can pronounce, who will act in that position. So if you can explain those.
Which government was this, a provincial or national?
Provincial government.
They say they're waiting for the name of the person to act.
No, they are saying, the king must write a letter to them to say that at this stage they are saying they have an affidavit at their position.
Okay. The king has written a lot of letters to the MEC of provincial government and to the MEC, and so to the premier, affirming, outlining what was discussed on the 27th of May by the heads that affirmed his position. And he has told them that he's willing to go back to his position and not to allow somebody to act. That one of the things that he said that they need, one of the things that we want to clarify and resolve once and for all, this thing of a royal family. It has to be structured well so that the people that are making powers, and although we know them, for the king to become a king, this is what I'm saying, Azenathi is trying to short-circuit this thing. His mother, Mama Nomosko, had to be created and given a queen status of a great house.
Okay.
That automatically the king became a king. Azenathi's mother has not gone through that process. Okay. Now, king without that, he claims to be the king.
Thank you so much. Well, there is Prince Ngonyama, spokesperson of King Buyelekhaya Dalinyebo, of course, explaining some of the issues here, because last night they did invite us to say the king has received a court order and he will go to Bumbane Great Place to occupy his rightful place, but they have since making about turn on that statement, saying they've been advised by the office of the Police National Commissioner to say they will handle this matter on their own. And they are saying, of course, they dismiss those decisions that were taken by the kingdom to say that they have dethroned the king. This is saying there's no such thing as that, Palisa.
All right, Atule, that's where we leave it. Thank you so much for that update. SABC News reporter Atule Joka.